Right, um, I'm going to do a video about how not to get addicted to substances, how to keep away from addiction. I'm actually doing this video in response to a request from someone I think who commented on my amphetamine experience report um, video. So yeah, where will I start? Okay, so the first thing I'll say with drug addiction is generally the reason people seem to get addicted is because obviously they enjoy the drug. They take it for too long at a time or in too high doses too many times, and rather than monitor where they are with it or question whether they're addicted, they just keep taking it thinking that they're not addicted. Like, most of the people I know who are addicts tell me that they aren't addicts, or and they kind of believe that they're not addicts. Particularly with methamphetamine, they say they're just using it on the weekends and they're just having a party, this kind of thing. And you'll find out that they're taking it all the time. But they believe that they aren't addicts. They believe that they can quit any time. They believe that it's just a fun thing. And this is one of the common things with addiction is you just don't realise when you are addicted. That's the biggest problem. It starts having a lot of negative social and physical effects on you. So here's one good way of keeping yourself from being addicted. Don't go over the top with it. Leave plenty of time between the same chemicals, and don't have massive binges of loads of different chemicals, because you can just get addicted generically to drugs that way. But yeah, the main thing is to keep a large amount of time between doses of the same substance. So for example, if I were to say take cocaine and I was trying not to get addicted, I would snort it once every month or so perhaps, because then there's enough of a time period between for you to recover and not feel a need for that chemical. I wouldn't, for example, snort it for 5 days solid. I mean, I would personally, but if I weren't trying not to get addicted, that would be a good way to start, because repetitive use is what starts making it normal. Um, if you're on a stimulant or a depressant and it's the next day and you're withdrawing, don't take more to fight the withdrawals, just stick with the withdrawals. That's another tip. So when you're withdrawing and you think I could use another hit, or it could be fun to take more, stay away from that. Stay away from that. Ride out the withdrawals. Accept that the withdrawals are sometimes shitty. Even if you've got something to do in the day that's important, it's kind of better to fuck that up or not be 100% on par with whatever you're doing, rather than to fuck yourself up entirely for months, years, or whatever because you've gained an addiction. Because it soon becomes, oh, withdrawals are shit, and then you take something and the next day it's like withdrawals are shit again. I gotta go to my sister's party, or I gotta go do this. Nah. Eventually it comes to a point where it's like I ain't even getting high from it. I'm just taking it not to withdraw. So yeah, that's the thing, is to fight withdrawals, to go with withdrawals and let them be, rather than to supplement against the withdrawals. Another way you could do this is to perhaps keep a diary to yourself of what you're taking and how regularly you're taking, and whether you're changing doses, and assess it. And assess it honestly. Don't look and say, yeah, I've taken it for 2 weeks solid every day, 5 times a day, but I'm not addicted. Look at it and say, maybe I'm starting to form a habit. You might see that you have more use or over longer periods of time, or more frequent use or heavier use. That's a sign to show you're addicted. Um, yeah, when quitting, don't worry about your addiction. Kind of just say to yourself, like, well, life might be shit, but don't worry about it. We'll be okay in a few weeks. Just if you are getting out of an addiction, should I say? And try and concentrate on exercise, health, and sleep if you're fighting addiction. And then, yeah, the next hint is to kind of tell other people that you're taking stuff and let them know when, because they can kind of monitor your signs for you. Because whilst you may not realise you're addicted, they, if they're a good friend or they've known you for a long time and you trust them and they trust you, they might know, and they might say, hang on a minute, you're going to have to stop taking this. And you might get mad at them at the end of the day, but you know, they're kind of helping you out by monitoring what you're doing, keeping you from redosing, keeping you from the addiction kind of thing. So you can have friends let you know the addiction. Have trip sitters as well, so they can stop you from redosing after you're on a withdrawal or whatever, or like take you through a withdrawal. Um, when you're thinking about a drug and you think you need a drug, just say to yourself, I don't need anything, or have something else like go grab some food, have some exercise, find a nice woman, get into some conversation, get lost in a hobby, distract yourself when you have withdrawals or when you want something that you don't need. Just distract yourself, or just accept the fact that you're not going to get that thing and that you don't need it, and just deal with the consequences. Basically, you have to face reality with addictions. Um, Other ways of getting over addictions is to just simply think about a different drug, but don't take it because you're not as interested in that drug, but it gives you a drug to think about, and you don't have to take it. That sounds really strange, but people who have taken multiple drugs will understand what I mean by that. Another thing is to look at what you could lose from being addicted. Obviously, you might lose a lot of social aspects, you might lose a lot of money because you're paying for a habit, you might lose a lot of your brain function, because you're just so fucked up from being on this stuff all the time. So think about that. Think about losing your family, losing your health, possibly your life, possibly getting into debt with some, depending on what you're taking, some really shady backstreet dealers. They might come and rough you up, might kill you. You could end up losing your girlfriend or your boyfriend, maybe your kids, this kind of thing. You might end up losing your nose if you're taking enough coke. You might end up losing good circulation if you take too much coke too. Or say, yeah, there's numerous things that you could lose. Think about your hygiene, your appearance, your status in life, your well-being, this kind of thing. And not just you. If you're not enough, if you feel bad about yourself, maybe think about what it'll do to other people. You don't know what the addiction's going to do to you. You don't know what you're going to do to fund that habit. I know a lot of people who are okay funding a habit, have good high-powered jobs, or sort it through selling recycled shit or beg. But I know a lot of people who just they don't want to, but they rob from their family, they rob from friends, they rob from random people because they need the money for their addiction. They need to get loads of electronics, loads of valuable shit, loads of money, sell it, pawn diamonds, this kind of thing, and now they're doing really fucked up shit. Particularly methos and heroin addicts and crack addicts, man. But methos seem to be the worst because if they're still on their hit, they know they need to get the next one before they run out. So they're fucking buzzed. They get their shit, they steal it, they sell it at the 24-hour pawn shops. They get all their meth and then they get out of the town and they just go to the next one. Now you don't want to turn into that kind of person because it's savage. You're living to destroy yourself, kind of thing. So bear that in mind. So bear kind of the ill effects of having an addiction, and then bear in mind the positive effects of not having an addiction. So good health, your social status won't be ruined, your financial status won't be ruined. And before you take a drug, if you're going to take it anyway and you're worried you're going to get addicted, don't worry about it because the anxiety itself could make the withdrawals worse, or could make the experience worse, and make you feel like you have to take it again. Like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing. Don't condemn yourself before it's happened if you're definitely going to do it. Otherwise, if you think you are going to get addictive and you just feel that that's going to happen, just don't do it. Just say to yourself, nah, it's not worth the risk. At the end of the day, when you're 65 in bed, you can still have that fucking hit of heroin when you're old, or 3 days from your deathbed. Fucking, do you think anyone's going to give a shit if you jack up on heroin? How they fuck? So, yeah, there are a few ways to avoid addiction. I would also say if you're a low drug user or you're not used to drugs in general, don't go for the most addictive drugs. For example, if you've never taken drugs, don't fucking suddenly start smoking opium because it's going to be a massively radical change and you just get addicted fast. Don't go above your game. As I say, don't go too high in dosages. And yeah, just try and keep it safe. Let friends or family know, or people you trust know. Even if you don't know people, maybe go on an internet forum and post on there what you're going to do and keep a progress report. Talk to people over the internet. Or yeah, as I say, monitor it in a diary. Check your health. If you are getting into an addiction or you can see problems with your health, look at that and realise that that's something you can lose. But yeah, most of the thing with not getting addicted is distracting yourself from withdrawals, fighting through withdrawals, and just not redosing too often or redosing too high, basically. And generally you should be okay. And also, as I say, self-fulfilling prophecy. Don't think you're going to get addicted, because that can be bad for you as well. Anyways, that was just a short video on how not to get addicted to substances, or kind of like a few best practices. You can think of any more ways of not getting addicted to stuff and safe drug use, please let me know in the comments or make your own video. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.